Ten bizarre traditions in Africa. If you've been around long enough, you have no difficulty agreeing that black is indeed beautiful. You'd have seen enough fascinating traditions, cultural festivals, and customs. The continent is home to a lot of vibrant and diverse cultures. You'll find unique customs and traditions in every corner of Africa that set the continent apart from countries on other continents. However, some of those traditions might appear bizarre. From strange wedding rituals to mysterious funeral practices, Africa has them uniquely and in abundance. To these Africans, though, these practices are more than traditions. They're a way of life. This video looks at 10 bizarre traditions in Africa. We're particularly attracted to chewing khat, a plant that functions as a stimulant. Chewing khat is a cultural practice common in East Africa. As you travel to East African countries like Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia, you'll find people hooked to this tradition. After chewing it, users of this plant derive a compound known as cathinone, which produces a kind of euphoric feeling. Most of the users in East Africa chew khat as a way of socializing, in addition to using it to stay awake and alert during long hours of work or study. Unfortunately, this bizarre tradition can lead to addiction. Certain controversies about this tradition border on its negative effects on physical and mental health. Despite all that, the tradition continues to be deeply cherished and has been woven into the cultural fabric of East Africa. 10. Umbilical cord burial. Apart from chewing khat, the custom of burying the umbilical cord is common in many parts of Africa. This unique and meaningful cultural practice is carefully observed, almost like a religious rite in some African tribes. The umbilical cord of a newborn, together with its contents, is buried the first day the baby is born. In other traditions, it's carefully preserved to be buried in a special location. The idea behind the ritual is to establish the symbolic connection between the baby and its ancestral roots. It's also believed that the idea is to protect the child and secure its future health and well-being. Those who understand this tradition see it as a beautiful and deeply spiritual tradition, showcasing the importance of ancestry and maintaining the sacred bond between generations. This rich cultural heritage is found throughout Africa. 9. Animal sacrifice in Ethiopia. Let us narrow our search to Ethiopia, where animal sacrifice is a bizarre tradition. It is one of the strangest cultural practices in the country. It is equally intriguing, holding a deep significance in Ethiopian culture. This animal sacrifice ritual dates back centuries. The preferred animals are usually sheep or goats, sacrificed to seek blessing or just to appease spirits. Of course, this is the practice in almost all African cultures. 8. San, healing dance. In South Africa, Botswana, Angola, and Namibia, you'll find the San people, the supposedly oldest tribe in the world. They are a hunter-gatherer culture stretching back tens of thousands of years. They have a tradition of the trance dance. This dance is called the healing dance of the Sans. It is historically an all-night affair, which brings a whole community together. The dances are led by healers and elders and conducted around a fire, breathing and chanting until they induce a trance state. This healing dance allows them to commune with the ancestral spirits and gods of the departed. The healers consider it the chance to cure sickness among other dancers. 7. Bride kidnapping in Ethiopia. Let's talk also about bride kidnapping as we return to Ethiopia. But this tradition is not limited to this African country. The strange practice of bride kidnapping is also part of their tradition in Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan. This strange practice is a tradition that has raised eyebrows the world over. As the name sounds, it involves the abduction of a young woman, often by a man well known to her, to force her into marriage. Though barbaric the act may seem, it is often seen as a cultural norm and is considered a way of showing affection. This bizarre and controversial tradition challenges our understanding of love and consent in marriage alliances. 6. Maasai spitting. This next bizarre tradition we shall be talking about is common among the Maasai people of East Africa. Spitting is an essential part of life for these people, as it acts as a blessing. They have different views about where the essence and power of an individual resides. To them, spitting is a way of blessing people. By spitting, you are giving something of yourself, essentially your own power to someone else. This starts at an early age when newborns are spat on as an expression of best wishes and a good life. Anyone leaving a place will be spat on by elders. Spitting on your head is seen as a blessing for your departure. It means that whatever you do, you'll be kept well. 5. Kausa, Ulwaluko. South Africa also has the price of Ulwaluko in the Eastern Cape. It's a tradition among the Kausa people. Their men participate in the tradition of coming-of-age initiation known as Ulwaluko. Kausa youths, known as Abakweta, are usually first circumcised without anesthetic. They're thereafter sent away from their village far into the bush. They go with minimal supplies, which are wrapped in a blanket. They usually wear white clay on their faces. Those initiates must fend for themselves for about 2 months, as they struggle in a structure built by adults in the village for them. Upon the return of Ulwaluko, they are no longer referred to as boys. They are given a new blanket. However, complications of the circumcision process have exposed the tradition to a lot of criticism. 4. Hamar, bull jumping. Again in Ethiopia, we have the Hamar tribe herdsmen-hurdlers in the Omo Valley. Young men of the tribe, which is just one of many in the Ono Valley, are required to prove their manhood by competing in the game, asking them to jump on prize bulls and then run across their backs naked. This is known as a coming-of-age ceremony. It is only when the participant can traverse the bull run 4 times that he is qualified to marry. Anyone who slips is at the risk of a hard fall. 3. Himba, Otjitse. The next tradition we will explore belongs to the women of the semi-nomadic Himba tribe. These women in northern Namibia are known for their reddish hair and complexion. This color is a result of Ojitse. The Himba Ojitse is a paste of butter, fat, and red ochre. The iconic women usually apply the Ojitse daily to their hair and skin, under the speculation that the Ojitse serves as a form of sun protection. The paste is also believed to ward off insects, though some say it serves purely for aesthetic reasons. 2. Bodhi, Kael Obesity Pageant. We have something else to discuss about the Omo Valley in Ethiopia. Here, every June or July, the Kael, which is a celebration of the Bodhi Lunar New Year, takes place. This is an extraordinary show of pageantry. This tradition features the drinking of a mixture of cow milk and cow in excess. In the months before the celebration, men live in isolation and observe the obesity pageant to become vastly bloated and overweight. An unmarried man is then presented by each clan to compete for the title of fattest man. With such competition comes glory and a greater chance of finding a wife. This bizarre tradition can result in swollen stomachs, thereby creating some balance and fatigue issues. Of course, each contestant returns to his normal size when the event is over. 1. Mercy, lip plates. The last of the 10 bizarre traditions in Africa we want to talk about is found also in Ethiopia. Have you heard about lip plates before? The bizarre tradition we'd love to discuss now has to do with circular plates called Debi a Tujian. The plates are worn by some Mercy women found near Jinka in Ethiopia's Omo Valley. Yes, the Omo Valley again. Mercy people are one of the few African tribes that have decided to continue the practice in East Africa. It's not a new tradition at all. The women have long been having their bottom lip pierced with a wooden peg inserted. As time goes on, larger pegs are inserted to widen the hole. Once the hole on the lips is big enough, the first of a succession of ceramic saucers are inserted as ornaments. Are you aware of other bizarre traditions in Africa? We so much love to read from you along this line. Please share your experience and thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.